Good evening, Belize. It's Tuesday and you're watching News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Tonight, a clash over open justice. The High Court is now weighing whether the O.J. Ellington rape case should unfold behind closed doors. Also, a warning from Mexico. Belize's Ambassador Oscar Arnold urges local car dealers to hold off on transiting vehicles from the north, citing fresh security concerns. In San Pedro, speaking out may have cost one man his livelihood. Jose Hernandez says criticizing area representative Andrew Perez led to his sudden dismissal. And on Culture Tuesday, beyond textbooks, inside Sacred Heart College's push to educate the whole student. Plus, after the CCJ's ruling in the BTL Severance case, the Labor Department moves to clear the confusion. All that and more straight ahead. News 5 starts right now.
This weekend, the NEBL moves into week 2 with a fully loaded weekend of games. On Friday night, the Belmopan Trojans goes up against the San Pedro Tiger Sharks at the UB Gymnasium. Then on Saturday night, the Cayo Western Ballers play host to the Belize City Defenders in a big home game at the Victor Galvez Stadium. The NEBL dancers will be performing live. And in Orange Walk, the Running Rebels look to defend their home court against the Dangriga Dream Ballers. Live performance by Yastalia. Giveaways all night. Plus, at the end of the first and third quarter, fans will get a chance to win cell phones, TVs, plus more. And at halftime, the big $5,000 cash Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports and Diaspora Relations Shooting Challenge. So this weekend, make your weekend an NEBL weekend sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
That's me. My idea that I really need to get my ad out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that works?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Good evening and welcome back. Tensions ran high in the High Court today as a major fight over open justice broke out before the rape trial of attorney Orson O.J. Ellington even got started. The judge signaled he was ready to close the courtroom. The Crown agreed, but the defense strongly disagreed, warning that shutting the public out could undermine both fairness and public trust. At the center of it all is one question. Should this high-profile sexual assault case unfold in full view of the public or behind closed doors to protect the complainant? Justice Nigel Pilgrim's decision could set the tone for transparency in Belize's justice system. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano with the following story.
A constitutional clash over open justice unfolded in the High Court of Belize today, as the prosecutor and a defense attorney advanced sharply different arguments on whether the sexual assault trial of attorney and public figure Orson O.J. Ellington should be held behind closed doors. Before the trial could begin, Justice Nigel Pilgrim signaled an intention to close the courtroom. The Crown raised no objection, but the defense objected, warning that secrecy would undermine not only Ellington's right to a fair hearing, but also public confidence in the process. The Crown anchored its position in Section 6(9)(a) of the Constitution, arguing that publicity would harm the interests of justice because witnesses are expected to recount intimate, traumatic details capable of identifying the complainant. DPP Sherlyn Vidal said the defense's insistence on public scrutiny amounted to conducting a trial within the courtroom and one by the public through the media. She maintained that exposing the complainant's private life would risk re-traumatization and degrade the quality of her evidence. The court, she argued, has a constitutional discretion and responsibility to protect vulnerable witnesses. The defense countered with equal force. Senior counsel Wilfred Sede Ellington described open justice as a strong constitutional presumption rooted in common law tradition and affirmed repeatedly by courts across the Commonwealth. He warned that closing the courtroom would create a dangerous imbalance. The allegations have already been publicly aired, damaging the defendant's reputation, yet the public would be barred from observing the testing of those allegations through cross-examination. He argued that secrecy would breed suspicion, especially because the accused is a well-known public figure. If the evidence collapses under scrutiny, he said, the public should be allowed to see that for themselves. Otherwise, even an acquittal could leave a permanent stain. While acknowledging the complainant's potential discomfort, defense urged the court to adopt less restrictive alternatives, anonymity orders, screens, or controlled questioning, rather than excluding the public entirely. He emphasized that the constitutional exceptions must be applied narrowly, not treated as a blanket rule for sexual offense cases. Tonight we're asking, how should the senior courts balance the privacy and welfare of complainants with the transparency needed to maintain public trust, especially when the accused's reputation has already been tried in the court of public opinion? Justice Pilgrim's ruling will determine not only this high-profile case, but also the broader expectations of transparency in Belize's justice system. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Ellington rape case is actually heard. After listening to both sides debate whether the trial should be held behind closed doors, Justice Pilgrim shifted focus, directing the DPP to formally outline the complainant's position. He made it clear, before the court rules on shutting the public out, the complainant's voice must carry just as much weight as the defendant's. That statement is due by noon on Thursday. The case picks back up at 3 when the defense gets its turn to push back. And by Friday morning at 9, Justice Pilgrim is expected to hand down his decision on whether the proceedings will stay open. Representing the defense is former Attorney General and Senior Counsel Wilfred Ellington, who offered brief comments after the adjournment.
Any statement, Senior Counsel, on the first time that an in-camera is being objected to?
I don't know if it's the first time. I used to be a judge, but I can't remember any of these matters being tried in camera. I just can't remember. But it's such a long time. I just don't remember. But things change. Careful.
So it's not precedent setting that objection has been made to an in-camera hearing for a sexual assault case.
Might be.
And what's your take on the arguments that were made?
I think they're both good arguments. Both good arguments. These two counsel have been doing very well indeed. So we just have to wait and see what will happen. And the judge seemed to be very good. I'm happy about that.
Any timeline as to when a decision is expected to be made?
I thought he said he's going to make his decision on Friday morning.
At 9?
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
There's an update tonight on the High Court ruling against Senior Counsel Hubert Ellington. When we checked with court sources today, we were told that no payment has been made as yet, even though the court-ordered deadline has already passed. In January, the High Court found that Ellington breached his fiduciary duties as executor of the estate of the late James Lightburn. The court ruled that he failed to properly account for and distribute estate funds and described the breaches as grave. He was ordered to repay more than $337,000 Belize dollars, along with 5% annual interest dating back to June of 2017, and an additional $10,000 in legal costs. The judgment also required him to submit full and accurate estate accounts and directed that a copy of the decision be forwarded to the General Legal Counsel and the Bar Association for possible disciplinary action. This ruling follows a separate decision late last year when the General Legal Counsel suspended Ellington for 6 months for grave professional misconduct in an unrelated matter and ordered him to refund approximately $6,000 to a client. Now that the High Court ordered repayment has not been made, the matter could now proceed with enforcement action. Belizean car dealers hit the brakes tonight, putting imports on pause as chaos erupts across Mexico. What's behind the sudden warning and how long could this slowdown last? We'll tell you coming up next.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." It was several years ago in the town of Dangriga, Belize, that the Lord taught me the true meaning of mercy. We were with a group of college students conducting a revival meeting in Dangriga. The young people were on the streets inviting people to the services while I went to the gas station to buy gas for my truck. As I was driving through town, I suddenly saw a group of young people, and wanting to stop and invite them to the crusade, I did a very foolish thing. I could not see anyone behind me in the rearview mirror, and so I stopped my truck in the middle of the street and started backing up. I backed right into a man's car. I got out to survey the damage. I expected to meet the fury of the man, but I met the fury of the young people whom I was wanting to invite to the crusade. They began to shout to the Latino man, "What are you going to do with that white man? What are you going to do with that white man?" The Latino man would look at his car and then look at the young people. Realizing there was not a lot of damage and infuriated by the antagonism of the young people, he simply nodded for me to go on. Suddenly, I realized what real mercy was. I was wrong. I had backed into a man's car, but in mercy he forgave me when I needed it desperately. You know, that is exactly what Jesus has done for every one of us. We all deliberately sinned against him, but the moment we came to him in repentance, he says, "Thy sins be forgiven thee." Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Hello, I am Dr. Rosado, a pediatrician, and today I want to talk to parents about rotavirus and how we can protect our children. Rotavirus is a virus that causes severe water, diarrhea, and vomiting. This can lead to severe dehydration and may require hospitalization if not treated promptly. The good news is that diarrhea caused by rotavirus is preventable by vaccines. The vaccine is safe, effective, and available at all nearest health centers. It is given in drops orally at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child against severe diarrhea. Visit your nearest clinic today.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Tonight, a word of caution for Belizean car dealers traveling through Mexico. Pump your brakes. Belize's ambassador to Mexico, Oscar Arnold, is urging dealers who are currently in the U.S. to hold off on driving back home for a few more days. He says the situation on key Mexican routes is still settling down after cartel roadblocks were thrown up in the wake of the killing of infamous cartel leader Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera. Yes, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has told officials that authorities have regained control of the affected areas. But Arnold says that doesn't mean it's smooth sailing just yet. His message is simple. Why take the risk? Give it a little more time and let security conditions stabilize before making the long drive south.
We would advise any car dealers, if you're at the border, to wait a few days, stay there a few days longer. I know it may cost them a little bit more with hotel and food, but it would be easier to do so because this morning on the press briefing that President Claudia Sheinbaum gave, they said that they've looked at all the areas, they've addressed all the blockages, and they are in control of those areas where there were blockages or major and significant blockages yesterday. But my advice would be that any car dealers who's coming down, wait at the border a few more days to make sure things are even more calm, and then to make your journey or to try to get home.
Belizean car dealers are also keeping a close eye on the unrest unfolding in Mexico as cartel-related violence continues to ripple through key travel routes. Many dealers who source vehicles from the United States are now in a holding pattern, waiting for the all-clear that Ambassador Oscar Arnold says could still be days away. Among them is Tavon Phillips, owner of Accelerate Belize, who knows the long road home better than most. He told News 5 that several of his colleagues are still parked in place, literally, because safety has always been the biggest concern, that is, when crossing Mexico. For now, they're watching, waiting, and hoping conditions stabilize before they get back on the road.
My personal last trip was in December. I did 2 trips in December. That was a high-paced month for me. I had one of my transporters who went up in January for 2 vehicles for me, Jose. I don't have any trip currently planned, but from the feedback we're getting the past couple of days is that right now, Maria, the broker that I use, she wasn't letting anybody cross up until maybe, she said Tuesday, but that's not a definite, oh, you're gonna cross Tuesday. We have to monitor the situation in Mexico and say what will be the outcome, and then she had decided. I mean, at the end of the day, Maria is one of those brokers that she has your back, through any situation, and for she first thing now is safety for us Belizeans especially, because she have a very good relationship with us, so her thing is pretty much safety, and if she not feel safe, then she and her correspondence on it, to give she a clean thumbs up to move any operation, then she halts until an all clear. Mexico to Mexico, man. Any number could play in Mexico. That's not our land. And we understand. For me, I understand how this thing works. Their guys, do what they need to do in order to survive. You understand where I go from? At the end of the day, our job now that we simply just follow the rules, follow the regulations, and simply just abide by whatever structure they have in place. You know what I mean? There are instances you get robbed. You get instances somebody come and brush you or leave 500 peso, 1,000 peso. But from my experience, I have never gotten one of those violent experiences where an M16 in your face. The guys just they stop you in the middle of the road, yes, but we understand that, man, at the end of the day, listen, anybody just want any peace, and you're trying to, and the minute you try to fight that, then you're the cause of uproar where not necessary. You understand where I go from? So, I mean, that's my experience. Other guys will tell you different.
In short, if you're planning that road trip back to Belize with vehicles, the safest move right now is to wait it out. There's new fallout tonight from a land dispute on Ambergris Key. Jose Hernandez, the San Pedro resident you saw on Tuesday night, now says he's been fired from his job at the San Pedro Town Council, all because he spoke out against Area Representative Andre Perez. Just last week, Hernandez stood alongside the UDP's Gabriel Zetina at a press conference, accusing Perez of denying him a parcel of land he says he's lived on for 10 years. Perez pushed back, telling News 5 that Hernandez's wife already owns property on the island and that granting the family a second parcel wouldn't be fair. But today, Hernandez says the consequences has hit home. He claims he's now out of a job and out of the means to support his family.
They didn't inform me that I was fired or anything. They just called me and say, bring the keys, and that's it. I mean, I don't know, they should notify me. As far as I understand, that's how it goes. 2 weeks in advance, they notify you that you are fired. They also haven't paid me Social Security, nothing. I have been working for the town council since before the pandemic, but there was a pause once. When I started again, that's when they fired me from the job. I have 5 children. I can't and don't have money to give each of them their $20 so they can go to school and have lunch money. I live 10 miles north from the center, so I am far away. And well, with those 20 for each one is for them to have lunch. But now I have no job and I don't have money either.
The back and forth over land ownership in San Pedro has taken a more personal turn. Jose Hernandez is refuting claims that he tried to secure a second land title while his wife already had one. Area Representative Andrew Perez accused Hernandez of being disingenuous about his family's land situation, but Hernandez says that's simply not true. He's now making it clear that he and his wife have been separated for 3 years and that the land she acquired is hers, not his. Hernandez insists he's only been trying to secure a piece of land for himself because, as he puts it, he currently doesn't own any.
Well, Mr. Heredia, who was from the Red Party, gave her a piece of land and gave me a piece of land. I can't rely on something that isn't mine. It's not in my name, and that's my wife's. It's not mine. I can't depend on that land because, to begin with, we have issues that aren't very good. But I am attentive to the children who are 5. I am always keeping an eye on them and taking care of them. She was on the land that Mr. Heredia gave her, but the same thing happened to her. The PUP took it away. Mr. Perez took that land from her and gave it to someone else. I don't know how she applied for that, and well, she managed to get the land. Well, that's her thing anyway. But the land that I have that Mr. Heredia gave me, Minister Andrew Perez comes and takes it away from me. It's not the same when things are for my wife and when things are mine. When it is mine, it is mine. What is mine is mine. What is hers is hers. I don't count on hers.
Sea sus cosas suyos, a que sea mi cosas mío. No, lo que mío es mío y lo suyo es suyo. Yo no cuento con lo suyo.
A simple political jab has now morphed into a deeper fight over family ties, fairness, and who actually has a rightful claim. Perez isn't letting Hernandez's claim slide. He says he had nothing to do with Hernandez being fired from the San Pedro Town Council. According to Perez, once he reached out to the council, he was told that parents had filed repeated complaints about Hernandez's performance, and that his termination was already in motion long before the political noise. Perez says it's unfortunate that the opposition is now using Hernandez's situation to score political points. Here's how he puts it.
I actually had to inquire this morning why was he terminated, right? I knew all along what was the issue with him, but I did not know the specifics. But I can share with you that that I did get information from the council, and apparently he has been was not doing up to standard what was expected for him. He was hired as a driver to take students from the North Ambergris area to bring them to school. But I understand from the chat group that one of the councils shared with me is that the parents complained a lot about he was not being on time. I think they were actually accusing him of, not really accusing him, they were telling that the children would not be reaching until after 6 to North Ambergris because he likes to stop along the resorts to pick up the waste oil, no? The cooking oil at his waste. He takes it, no? So he stops at different places, and the children are saying that they are reaching late because of that. At no time did I say request to hand over the keys or not, because let me tell you, the van is for the school purpose, right? It was donated from my office, but I was handed over to the town council to manage with their driver, the maintenance. And of course, when there's parts to be replaced, then they reach out to me and I replace it with parts that they need for the vehicle. But I had nothing to do with the hiring or firing of the gentleman. I'm a bit saddened that the opposition is going to use this poor young man. I mean, this gentleman. I'm really disappointed and sad that they are using it for political gain, no? And using the woes of a person there for political mileage. But he reached out to the media rooms, and I'll respond to you to this. He claims that the land that he is squatting on, that he has developed it for 11 years. But we have done our research. I have the proof. I will send you the screenshots of what we have. Up until 2021, there was no kind of any activity on that property.
Women in law enforcement gear up for a history-making march. Why they're stepping out in unity and what they're hoping to change. That story coming up. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
and maintain your yard the best way with Honda trimmers and lawn mowers. Honda Lawn and Garden Equipment, available at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Are you a forward-thinking farmer ready to adopt climate-smart practices? The future of farming is resilient, sustainable, and profitable, and we are here to help you achieve just that. Whether cultivating half an acre or 200 acres, DFC offers affordable financing options and a matching grant up to $12,000 for Window 1 and up to $60,000 for Window 2 to help make your farm climate smart, withstand unpredictable weather patterns, and adapt practices that enhance productivity and efficiency. This program is ideal for farmers and cooperatives. Women farmers are highly encouraged to take advantage. Join us in creating a resilient and sustainable agricultural future for Belize. Apply now and take the next step towards a stronger, greener tomorrow.
In the heart of the Cayo district, CARICOM Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When CARICOM Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like CARICOM Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Wake up with us tomorrow for a power-packed morning full of insight, inspiration, culture, and flavor. We start with a timely regional discussion. How will Cuban sanctions affect us? With new developments surrounding Cuba, what could this mean for trade, travel, and the wider Caribbean, including Belize? Dylan Vernon will break down the potential impact and why it matters to you. Then we're getting active for a cause. Belize Haven House joins us to share how they're turning fitness into fundraising, proving that every step, squat, and stretch can help change lives. Next is all about culture and creativity, as Sandra Mai showcases how she brings Belizean pride to life in every stitch, blending fashion with heritage in a bold and beautiful way. And we'll wrap things up on a sweet note with the Cookie Lab, as they tempt our taste buds with their unique, mouth-watering flavors you won't want to miss. Insightful conversation, community spirit, cultural vibes, and delicious treats. All an Open Your Eyes morning show at 6:30 a.m.
Tonight for Culture Tuesday, we're heading west to a high school that's shaping minds, hearts, and character. In San Ignacio, Sacred Heart College has built a name for itself, not just for strong academics, but for developing the whole student. From spirituality to sports, music to mentorship, the school believes learning should go far beyond the pages of a textbook. News 5's Shane Williams has the story from San Ignacio.
Up in the hills of San Ignacio sits a campus many in Cayo proudly call their school of choice, Sacred Heart College. With more than 900 students filling the high school classrooms, the place buzzes with energy, ambition, and a strong sense of faith. But administrators say Sacred Heart is defined by its philosophy, not its size.
Your name is the highest.
SHC is a Catholic institution and we're guided by Catholic ethos. Our mission is to create a holistic individual. We focus, of course, on academics, and in addition to that, we also look at the arts. For example, we have art, we have music, we look at sports. Our PE classes are very important to us. Our students are engaged in all the sporting competitions that we have. We also look at spiritual, which is very important to us. We have our masses every week. In addition to that, our students also participate once a year in a retreat.
Holistic education here means balance. For Campus Ministry Director and Junior College Lecturer Emmanuel Mangar, one of the most visible examples of that formation is the school choir.
These students that are here in the choir, some of them started with the choir 3 years ago and have stayed with us since, and they've grown in their leadership roles, just having courage to maybe speak. Right, their public speaking has definitely improved in front of other students, in front of audiences. I mean, think about it. We have mass every week, and it is close to 500 to 1,000 students weekly.
The choir is more than music. It's mentorship, discipline, and spiritual leadership. From one guitar and a small sound system, the program has grown to nearly 20 singers, multiple musicians, and full technical support. And the skills students develop don't stay on campus.
I feel like being in the choir helped me a lot develop musically. Thanks to Mr. Mangar, I developed a lot of musical abilities, and I usually go host events around town and thing, and that has helped me a lot, you know. So yeah, I'm going to continue doing that in the future.
But Sacred Heart's holistic vision reaches far beyond the chapel. In classrooms and clubs, students are encouraged to sharpen their intellect and discover new interests. For Bianca Reyes, her choice is the chess club.
Last year in December, I won Best Female Player for the Blitz tournament. That's 3 minutes each. So I think that's a very fond memory.
What can other students who are thinking about coming here look forward to?
I would say the model clubs that we have is not just chess club. It's if you want to be more active in the community, we have Red Cross, we have the Interact Club that's also here, so you have a lot of options.
With choices ranging from chess club to Interact and Red Cross to drama, students say there's something for everyone to feel at home. And when challenges arise, there is support.
We really want to offer a space where students feel safe so that they know that they're not alone on their transition in high school, because different forms have different concerns for us, and developmentally it's a huge part of their adolescence, so we're there to support them on their journey, both academically, because at Sacred Heart we're really about holistic education, so not just with their academic struggles but their peer struggles, their family struggles, or just understanding their identity. So we really want to advocate for our students at the counseling department.
Leadership too is cultivated intentionally. Lena Silva and Chloe Martinez are the student council president and head prefect.
To me, what it means to be a Sacred Heart student is putting your all in everything that you do, performing to the best of your ability, and always keeping God first in whatever you do.
I feel like Sacred Heart College, all the students here wears their white and gray with pride, and anybody that came here can say that too.
For President Dr. Berta Cambranis, the hope is that students carry the white and gray pride throughout their lives after SHC.
We prepare students holistically. So when you're getting a graduate from Sacred Heart, you know that it's a well-rounded individual.
And maybe that's the true heartbeat of Sacred Heart College. An education not focused just on turning out graduates, but on shaping grounded, confident young people ready to give back to their communities. From San Ignacio for Culture Tuesday, Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
After spotlighting Sacred Heart College's commitment to shaping well-rounded students in San Ignacio, we turn now to growing unrest within the Belize Carnival Association. During Friday's press conference, a band leader openly confronted President Patrick Thompson, insisting he was denied a third-place prize he says was promised after 2 competing bands were disqualified. The challenge not only reignited questions about transparency within the association, but also raised wider concerns about whether unclaimed prize funds were ever returned to the National Celebrations Commission. Here's the question posed and the president's response.
Mr. Thompson and the board of the Carnival Association promised us that even if we don't have our count to take part, he will still grant one of us the third place prize, and he disqualified both of us, and he said he sent back the money to NCC. So I am asking NCC, did they receive the third place money back?
In our rule book, again state that to be eligible, you must have 100 revelers, right? And the two bands, yes, they competed in the competition, and one of the bands, yes, indeed had came in third based on points. But the thing is that they did not have the amount of revelers, so that was what made them being disqualified. It is not that we disqualified them for anything else, it was that they just didn't have the numbers, and that was one of our key things when it comes to being eligible. And we sing this to these bands over and over. And yes, when they talk about the cash prize, is that we are the ones who would we don't get these prize money in our account. All right, NCC is the entity that provide the prizes, and when we have our winners, we forward those winners to NCC, who deals with the prizes for our events, and they are the one who issue the check that we give at the award night.
So the association doesn't have that prize money as they are alluding?
No, we don't have that money because then there were nobody to. So NCC did not write that check for that third place because they were disqualified. They did not meet the criteria.
After covering the escalating dispute within the Belize Carnival Association, we shift now to a very different show of unity and purpose. As Belize prepares to observe Women's Month in March, the Belize Police Department is gearing up for what it calls a historic first, an all-female law enforcement march through Belize City. Female officers from across the country, joined by their counterparts in the Coast Guard and the Belize Defense Force, will take to the streets in a powerful display of solidarity. The event is expected to draw hundreds of women in uniform, all rallying behind one message. Here's more from Assistant Superintendent Stacy Smith.
In collaboration with Women's Month, which occurs in the month of March every year, the Belize Police Department will be hosting its first of a kind all-female law enforcement march, and we have extended invitation to our sisters in law enforcement, the Belize Coast Guard and the Belize Defense Force, and they are expected to make representation along with us. The march will start off at approximately 9:00 a.m. on 2nd March. We leave from in front of the House of Culture and we proceed up Regent Street and onto Albert Street. This march will feature over 650 police officers, Coast Guard and BDF combined, and it is held under the theme of uniting women in law enforcement for a safer Belize. So we would like to take this opportunity to encourage everyone, those of you who are able to come down in the area, schools in particular, to bring out the students and witness history in the making as we celebrate women in law enforcement.
And as organizers finalize preparations, they say this all-female march will showcase the strength and unity of women in uniform as they make history together. The Cuban ambassador is speaking out tonight, pushing back against U.S. pressure tied to the long-standing blockade. What sparked the latest denunciation and how it is playing out diplomatically? That's ahead.
accessible, safe, yours. DigiWallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
CARICOM leaders are back in St. Kitts and Nevis tonight. The region's leaders have returned to the Caribbean's smallest sovereign state, where the host nation is once again proving size has nothing to do with impact. Instead of the usual formalities, Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett zeroed in on what she calls a new energy, shaping this 50th Heads of Government meeting. She's pointing to Prime Minister Terence Drew's hands-on leadership, emergency sessions from day one, following up visits across the region, and a clear push to get things done as a sign that CARICOM is leaning into unity and results, not rhetoric. Dr. Barnett says the young CARICOM ambassadors who welcome delegates set the tone early, confident, passionate, and ready to push the region forward. With that kind of start, she believes this milestone meeting enters with more purpose and more promise than most.
We gather again in this beautiful Twin Island nation for the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. St. Kitts and Nevis hosted 2 major CARICOM meetings last year, when foreign ministers met in May for the 28th regular meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, and the 19th Caribbean Week of Agriculture, which was held in October. Then, the smallest sovereign state among us is punching above its weight, and no effort has been spared to ensure excellent arrangements for our meeting. On behalf of the community, I thank our host, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister, and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for their gracious hospitality to our delegations. Since assuming the chairmanship of CARICOM on January 1 this year, Prime Minister Drew has set the tone for a very active, and productive tenure. His chairmanship started with emergency meetings of the community on the very first weekend of the year, and his in-person visits with heads of government in the region have clearly indicated his capacity for action and desire for unity and results. Chair, I am confident that under your guidance and with the support of your colleague heads of government, the Secretariat, and our regional institutions, the interests of our region will see accelerated advancement under your leadership. I was especially pleased to be welcomed with such clarity and passion by Akwanje Robinson and Siobhan Phipps Harding, two examples of the excellent cadre of young people who serve our region as youth ambassadors. I look forward to seeing even more of our young people's creative talent as the evening progresses.
Cuba continues to face increasing pressure from the United States tonight. The island faces severe fuel shortages following U.S. moves to block oil supplies, including from Venezuela. The U.S. intensified pressure on the communist-run island, driving up food and transportation costs and causing long power outages. The UN has warned that Cuba could face a humanitarian crisis if energy needs are not met. Canada says it plans to send aid to Cuba, a move that follows similar support by Mexico. And as you heard on Monday night from former Foreign Affairs Minister Assad Shoman, Belize should do the same. Tonight we hear from the Cuban ambassador to Belize, Yahima Martinez Milan. The ambassador says that while the U.S. pressure has intensified, it has not paralyzed the country.
As the world as seeing, Cuba is facing right now a very complex period caused by the intensification of the U.S. blockade. However, the country is not paralyzed. We are implementing some measures in order to guarantee the continuity of the country and also to maintain the basic service to our population. And also during all these measures, we are trying to protect the most vulnerable people in the country, and also we are distributing our resources with a principle of equity. Cuba's response remains as the same during more than 60 years. Our response is independence, dignity, and sovereignty. And Washington's increased measures are an attempt at economic suffocation. Our response and our work is to try to denounce all these unjust measures in all the international forum and all the public space and the scenarios that we have the opportunity. And also, Cuba doesn't negotiate under pressure and threats. The world knows that. And our diplomacy is one of peace and also cooperation. That is the way in that we work.
We hear from Cuba that the fuel shortages, the blackouts, have affected hospitals and public services in the country. What is the government doing to stabilize that essential services for the people?
That is true. We have a big affectation of this service, but it is important to clarify that despite fuel elimination, the Cuban priority is to maintain the service of health and also education and other important service of our population. And energy saving protocol have been adopted in order to guarantee that this basic and important service could be maintained.
Some external observers characterize the current situation as politically fragile in Cuba. We spoke to Assad Shoman, who has lived in Cuba for so many years, more than a decade, and is a former foreign minister of Belize. He is saying that if the U.S. government succeeds, Cubans will die. Is that your assessment on the situation?
There is an opinion, an international opinion, that Cuba will be collapsed. And there is no reason for thinking about that. We are facing a very complex economic moment caused by the measures and the blockade for the U.S. against Cuba, and there is no fragility and there is no political reasons in that. So we are facing a threat, an external threat. It's not caused by internal causes.
And while CARICOM leaders meet in St. Kitts and Nevis, the ambassador is reaffirming Cuba's strong ties with Belize and CARICOM. Amid the U.S. pressure and the ongoing blockade, Ambassador Martinez says her country is prioritizing energy and sovereignty and diversifying international partnership to secure its future.
Our relationship with CARICOM and also with Belize is historic. We have a relationship for many years, and while others see the region as a political chessboard, Cuba sees it as its home. We recognize, and it has been very important for us, the support that CARICOM have give to Cuba in order to denounce and also eliminate the U.S. blockade against Cuba, and that has been very important for us. And in the case with Belize, we share an exemplary cooperation, also that is for many years, and especially in health and technical training.
In terms of the external energy shocks, what structural or long-term solution is Cuba pursuing to reduce this vulnerability?
We know that the definite solution lies in sovereignty in energy. This is the most important for us. We had a plan, but during this situation we are accelerating all the process in order to get the transition to the renewable energy source. It is a technology that is high cost, is difficult for us due to the blockades, but now it's a priority for our country.
And is the Cuban government exploring new economic or diplomatic partnership to help navigate what you describe as the U.S. suffocation on the country?
Well, for many years, Cuba have worked in order to diversify our trade relation with the world, mainly after the collapse of the Soviet Union. So we are strengthening ties with the BRICS bloc, for example, and also we are working and we have some ties with some partners in Asia, for example, Europe, and also in Latin America. And additionally to that, we are the updating of our economic model that also now allows greater participation of non-state actors that enhance foreign trade.
A longtime educator is fighting for support tonight after being denied invalidity benefits despite decades in the classroom. Why his case is raising eyebrows ahead.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. we work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter. Smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, and you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice. The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly Productions brings to you Jesus Festival. Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praise will never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly's for life, serving Jesus Christ.
From Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Pentapan. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk, Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team, Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carballo and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival, yeah, Jesus, rocking on the world.
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, Plus TV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival, yeah, Jesus.
Me, my idea about and I really need to get my ad out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Tonight, the Labor Department is stepping in to calm confusion after a landmark Caribbean Court of Justice ruling stirred new questions about who qualifies for severance pay in Belize. While the CCJ's decision in the Marin versus BTL case applies only to the parties involved, the judgment has triggered a wave of public debate and even some misconceptions about what employees across the country may now be entitled to. The Ministry of Immigration, Governance and Labor is urging Belizeans not to jump to conclusions, reminding both workers and employees that severance rules haven't changed and that every case still depends on its own facts, agreements, and legal history. They're also encouraging anyone unsure about their rights to reach out for proper guidance before assuming the CCJ ruling automatically affects their situation. The battle over severance at Belize Telemedia has now turned personal, at least for the workers who say they've waited long enough. The Belize Communications Workers for Justice is ramping up its pressure campaign. And this Friday, they plan to take their fight straight to the doorstep of the man they believe is standing in their way. Members say Board Chairman Markelm Lizarraga has ignored a court ruling and denied them the payments they're owed. And if he won't feel their loss, they intend to make sure he feels their presence. Their demonstration is headed for Southside Meat Shop, Lizarraga's own business, in what the group calls a necessary escalation. Organizer Emily Turner explains why they're taking the protest directly to him.
We have received our mandate late last night from our members, and that mandate is for us to take back to the streets, and this time we'll be going to Southside Meats on Albert Street West.
Why Southside Meats?
Well, we feel, and it's a large consensus from the group, that the chairman is behaving personal with us about paying our severance or interest, what is due to us, and we must make it personal right back at him for this behavior that he's exercising.
Last time we spoke, it seems that we had reached a solution, a settlement. How did we get back here?
Okay, so in good faith, we received letters from BTL, a letter from BTL saying that the board had approved severance. So we attended a first meeting where they presented that the board the board is sticking to the position that these people are not entitled to severance. We said, you know what, we will take that, accept it, and we will still ask them to consider the interest rate, because what was being presented to us was a package with only the severance. We then received a subsequent letter that brought us to the table on Monday at 2 p.m. And in that meeting, following suit with their letter, they begin these meetings by stating that they are going to remain non-compliant with the CCJ's ruling and not accept that we are, all of us, the people beyond 6 years, supposed to get this severance payment. And so we gave them an offer in good faith, which they could not meet. And we said, well, this is where the negotiations will have to end, and this is where it has broken down.
Tonight, a lifelong educator is asking whether nearly 3 decades in the classroom and more than 20 years of Social Security contributions count for anything now that he can no longer work. Gerardo Aldana, a former Santa Elena primary school teacher, says a severe back injury and 5 herniated discs have left him relying on family for support. Yet the Social Security Board still hasn't approved the invalidity benefits he applied for almost 10 years ago. Forced to resign and now struggling to get by, he's questioning the system he paid into for most of his working life. Here's what he told us.
So I applied for, I went on 1 year sick leave, and then after that I was getting, I think, full pay. Then I went to half pay, then no pay. At that time, well, I had no options but to resign from my post so that I can apply for my gratuity. It took me a while, but I got it. And since then, I applied to go medically on sick, and they said that, that I had resigned so that I would not qualify, because I had applied for a pension from government at that time. So after my resignation, I tried to meet the officials from government or so on if they could consider my appeal, and they said, well, you resigned, so there's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, the point is that from since then until now, I have been going through Social Security, and I sent in my application so many times, and like it went missing, and I don't understand how it could go missing. So I had appealed, and I wrote to the Governor General, and no response at that time. When I went to Social Security, they said that they needed a report from a neurosurgeon. So they directed me to go to this neurosurgeon in Belize City. And at first we thought that it was 3 hernias, but then he found out that it's 5. He said, this is a real situation. And he said that he could do the surgery, but it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's risky. So I said, well, I'll just pass on that surgery because I don't want to end up in wheelchairs. At the moment, at least I can walk a little. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So I went to Social Security, and they said, well, go and do your surgery, and then if you in a wheelchair, then you come back and apply again. I said, what? No, I can't deal with that. So and since then I've been waiting. I sent emails and no response.
After nearly a decade of waiting, former teacher Gerardo Aldana says his pleas for invalidity benefits have gone unanswered, despite a career-ending back injury and more than 20 years of contributions. His case has raised serious questions about how the system treats long-serving workers who fall ill. Tonight, the Social Security Board is responding. SSB's Public Relations Manager Vanessa Veas tells News 5 the board has launched an investigation into Aldana's claim, and she says they're treating it as a top priority. Here's what Veas had to say.
This matter is currently under review right now. So basically, I'm not able to give you a specific comment on what he claims in the media has been his experience with the SSB. It has been my experience when these cases pop up that there is always another side, to what is being said. And this is something that we are actively investigating internally at this time. And I think it would be a bit premature if I would say anything beyond that, because we need to know what are the complete facts of the case, if you will.
However, can you appreciate perhaps the frustration that people feel when they're in a situation like this after contributing to making their contributions for almost 3 decades?
Definitely, I can appreciate any level of frustration that any insured worker or retired person may feel if there is anything that, if there is any claim that they have made and maybe they've been told that maybe they are denied that particular claim.
Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, clash over open justice as court weighs closed-door trial for O.J. Ellington. Kimita Robin commented, "I don't like the idea of closed doors, but if it is to protect the victims, then I understand." On the topic, Carnival clash, band leader confronts president over missing prize. Margaret R. Johnson shared, "I believe that one of these two groups that they disqualified should still get their third-place prize because it was promised." And finally, on Belizean car dealers paused amid Mexico's chaos. Carla Huchner shared, "This has been a dangerous route for a while. Time to lower the import costs for shipping vehicles instead of driving them." Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming, and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.